What's going on, everybody, and welcome to my very first Thomas and Friends Brant Steele. That's right, I decided to do a Brant Steele on Thomas and Friends because it is a childhood show of mine. I watched it on Sprout back in the day, and it's just a very good show, and I've loved it ever since. The characters are nice. Fun fact, this was the very first Sprout show this show was the very first show I've seen on Sprout, so it's really cool, and it plays a special place in my heart. There's a lot of good engines and all of that. A lot of good characters, so I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I tried to set up a Masked Singer one, however, there was errors, so I'll have to do it at a different time. So, we're going to see how, if these guys were able to compete, we would see how they would do. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be great. So, let's introduce the characters, shall we? So we have two teams. I'm using the Total Drama skins again. The first team we have are the Terrific Trains. And then the other team is Lovely Locomotives. So I thought they were really creative. I thought I was really creative with the names. So I love Thomas and Friends. It's a really good show. And if you love it too, that's great. So let's go ahead and introduce the characters before we get this started. On the Terrific Trains, we have Edward, Emily, Gordon, Henry, James, Nia, Percy, Rebecca, Rosie, Thomas, and Toby. So basically it's all of the Steam team members. Yes, I even included Rebecca and Nia in this. They're the only ones that have different portraits because they were introduced later at the time, so that's pretty much why. They were also part of the Steam team. They replaced Henry and Edward respectively, so... And yes, I even included Rosie on the team because when I was setting it up, I accidentally put Emily twice. So I'm like, let's have Rosie join them. Honestly, Rosie should have been a Steam team member. It fits her really well. Honestly, it should have happened. Oh well. And then our other team, Lovely Locomotives: Birdie, Charlie, Diesel, Hero, Kevin, Mavis, Salty, Spencer, Stanley, Victor, and Whiff. Yes, I know that. So I know that Hero, Victor, Kevin, I know that and Charlie, I know that those guys are only exclusive to the CGI, but to be fair, the very first Thomas episode I ever saw on Sprout was a CGI episode, so I'm pretty much used to that era. Don't get me wrong, I love the model era. Of course I do. The early CGI era is good. However, season 12 was just not a good season, so I do not like season 12. Season 13, I'm talking season 13, season 14, season 15, season 16, that era. The newer CGI, they kind of made the dialogue humorous, have humor in it, so that's pretty, for Sir Topham Hatt, for example. He was strict and stern and stubborn in the early episodes, the early seasons, but in the latest seasons, like the CGI, they gave him more personality. They made him funnier and have humor. So I'm glad they did that. Honestly, that's really cool. The guy has humor instead of him being strict. For some reason in the UK he's called Fat Controller, but I don't know why they don't call him that there. Thomas and Friends is a good show. It's been around for a long time. We're getting a new Thomas and Friends CGI really soon. I don't know when it's coming out. All Engines Go was just terrible. It was just not a good show. They did them dirty. And honestly, it should have been that way. So, this is the first season of Thomas and Friends Brant Steele. We'll be doing other ones with different engines, some returning and some old, so I hope you're looking forward to that. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this Thomas and Friends Brant Steele. Thomas and Friends. They have a lot of specials, a lot of movies, a lot of episodes. It's just really good. And yes, some of the engines share names with Disventure Camp engines. You have, on Terrific Trains, you have Emily, who is the current host of Season 5. You have James, who is the social media lover and Aiden's boyfriend. You have, but there's no engine named Aiden, I'll tell you that. If there was, what if that Aiden and James got together? That'd be funny. And then, what else? Thomas Tom's full name is Thomas. I guess that could count. I don't know. And then for Lovely Locomotives, you have let me look. You only have Spencer, and who's currently in season 5. But fun fact, Spencer has a British accent, and Thomas is more common in the UK, so Spencer has the Thomas Spencer has a British accent there. So I love all the characters. Rosie's probably my favorite character. She's just so charming and stuff. She should have been a Steam Team member, honestly. Would have been better, but I don't know why they decided to have Rebecca and Nia be part of this. So the characters are really neat, so I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. If you're all ready, so all these engines are competing to see who will win the $100, or they're going to see who's going to win the $100,000 check. Who do you think will win it? Well, we're going to find out. So let's see which engine will win, and hopefully the same team doesn't keep winning. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Classic show. Here we go. Love it. Also, reading these will be very funny, because some of these apply. They're all funny. These will be all funny because in the show they're actually all friendly. So here it might be a little different. Rosie feels medium dislike towards Percy. Percy and James feel a mutual slight bond towards one another. Thomas and Emily feel a mutual slight bond towards one another. Henry and Gordon feel a mutual slight bond toward one another. Percy feels slight dislike towards Rosie. Toby and Rebecca feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Rosie and Emily feel a mutual slight bond toward one another. James and Gordon feel a slight bond toward one another. Thomas and Edward feel slight dislike. Again, I included Rebecca and Nia because they're Steam Team members. Thomas feels a slight bond toward Rebecca. And on the Lovely Locomotives, Victor and Stanley feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Charlie and Bertie feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Kevin feels slight dislike towards Diesel. Victor and Mavis feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Diesel feels a slight bond toward Hero. Spencer and Charlie feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Victor and Diesel feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Stanley and Salty feel mutual slight dislike toward one another. Mavis feels slight dislike towards Charlie. Victor feels a slight bond towards Charlie. First challenge, Sitting Ducks. This challenge is done in 3 parts. In part 1, campers must jump off, let's say engines instead. Engines must jump off a 1,000-foot high cliff into the water, which is infested. Their trains, that's gonna be funny. Which is infested with psychotic man-eating sharks. In the dangerous water is a small safe zone for engines to jump into. Engines who do not jump must wear a chicken hat for the remainder of the day. The team with more jumpers receives 4 wagons to help them with the next part of the challenge. In part 2, teams must take 4 crates back to camp and open them with their teeth. In part 3, teams must take the supplies from their crates and build a hot tub. The team with the better hot tub, as decided by Sir Topham Hatt, wins invincibility and gets to keep their hot tub. See what I did there? Well, 3 engines on terrific trains don't jump and must wear chicken hats. Dang, Thomas! What? No! Come on, he's the main guy. He wouldn't do that. He would definitely jump. This Brant Steele. Anyways, James, Thomas, and Toby have to wear chicken hats. Meanwhile, Mavis and Victor on Lovely Locomotives must also wear chicken hats for not jumping. Lovely Locomotives gets the wagons. Sir Topham Hatt deems the Terrific Trains hot tub better. Terrific Trains wins invincibility. Someone on Lovely Locomotives is going. Henry and Rosie have a small fight. Rosie has a major meltdown. An alliance with Edward, Emily, Gordon, Henry, James, Percy, Thomas, and Toby form. Wait a minute! It's the whole original Steam Team! No freaking way! The entire alliance is the original, it's the OG Steam Team. That is so funny. So we're calling this alliance the original Steam Team because it's all of their members. bizarre coincidence. Oh my freaking god. Meanwhile, Nia and Rebecca decide to form an alliance. Dang, Rosie might be targeted. Rosie might have an early boot. She's the only one that's not in an alliance. Rosie, you might be the first person out. Rosie, you might be the first engine out on your team. Don't say I didn't warn you. It might happen. That's gonna suck. Diesel has a major meltdown. Kevin is targeting Mavis. Kevin has a slightly negative opinion about Mavis and considers her a little weak. Stanley is targeting Victor. Stanley considers Victor somewhat weak. Mavis is targeting Diesel. Mavis considers Diesel somewhat weak. Birdie is targeting Charlie. Birdie considers Charlie somewhat weak. Hero is targeting Birdie. Hero considers Birdie somewhat weak. Welcome, lovely locomotives. This is the campfire ceremony. I have 10 marshmallows. If I call your name, you are safe and can get your marshmallow. If you do not receive a marshmallow, you must immediately return to the dock of shame to catch the boat of losers and leave. That means you're out of the contest and you can't come back. Ever. Which is a lie. The first marshmallow. The marshmallows go to Stanley. The second marshmallow goes to Salty. The third marshmallow goes to Kevin. The fourth marshmallow goes to Whiff. The fifth marshmallow goes to Spencer. The sixth marshmallow goes to Charlie. The seventh marshmallow goes to Hero. Birdie, Diesel, Mavis, and Victor have not yet received a marshmallow. The eighth marshmallow goes to Victor. The ninth marshmallow goes to Birdie. One marshmallow left. First person voted out of Thomas and Friends Brant Steele Season 1. The last marshmallow goes to Diesel. Mavis is eliminated. Mavis must walk the dock of shame and board the boat of losers. Dang, a female's out first. Birdie voted for Mavis. Charlie voted for Birdie. Diesel voted for Mavis. Hero voted for Birdie. Kevin voted for Mavis. Mavis voted for Diesel. Salty voted for Diesel. Spencer voted for Mavis. Stanley voted for Mavis. Victor voted for Diesel. Whiff voted for... She was the only girl on that team, and they all decided to target her. That's rude. I feel bad. Now it's all just males on the team because she was the only female on the team, and they all decided to eliminate her because of that. That sucks. Okay, we got the alliances. Rosie's the only one not in an alliance. That's not good for her. She's gonna be targeted because of that. James feels strong. Yeah, this too. James feels strong dislike towards Rosie. Rosie feels medium dislike towards Edward. Toby and Emily feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Edward feels medium dislike towards Rosie. Rosie and Henry feel mutual medium dislike towards one another. Toby and Rebecca feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Percy and James feel mutual small bond towards one another. Rosie and Percy feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Rosie feels a small bond towards Rebecca. Henry and Gordon feel a mutual small bond towards one another. Victor feels strong dislike towards Diesel. Kevin feels strong dislike towards Diesel. Whiff feels medium dislike towards Diesel. Charlie and Birdie feel mutual medium dislike towards one another. Diesel and Charlie feel mutual medium dislike towards one another. Diesel feels medium dislike towards Kevin. Victor and Kevin feel mutual slight dislike. What? No! Stanley and they work with each other. Stanley and Charlie feel mutual slight dislike towards one another. Salty and Hero feel a mutual slight bond towards one another. Stanley and Kevin feel mutual slight dislike towards one another. The Awake-a-thon. The challenge is done in 3 parts. In part 1, engines must run 20 kilometers around a lake. In part 2, all campers who finish the run by dinner time will be treated to a feast. In a surprise turn of events, it is revealed that for the third part of the challenge, the last team to have at least one engine awake will win invincibility. If both teams have engines awake after 24 hours, they will be read fairy tales while a man dressed as a pink sheep plays the harp. If both teams still have engines awake after 85 hours, the eliminated engines are sent away while the remaining engines are read the history of the island of Sodor, a pop-up book. 13 engines complete part 1 and are treated to the part 2 feast. They are Birdie, Charlie, Emily, Gordon, Henry, Hero, Kevin, Nia, Percy, Rosie, Salty, Stanley, and Toby. Part 3 begins. Spencer from Lovely Locomotives falls asleep. Toby from Terrific Trains falls asleep. Salty falls asleep. Whiff falls asleep. Edward falls asleep. Charlie falls asleep. Gordon falls asleep. Diesel falls asleep. Rosie falls asleep. Hero falls asleep. Thomas falls asleep. Victor falls asleep. Bertie falls asleep. Kevin falls asleep. James falls asleep. Henry falls asleep. Stanley falls asleep. 4. Nia, Emily, Percy, and Rebecca remain awake for the Terrific Trains. Terrific Trains wins invincibility again. Nia and Toby have a small fight. Emily and Rebecca find something in common. A new alliance with Henry and Nia form. Hero and Spencer have a major fight. Bertie and Charlie have a major fight. Charlie and Salty have a major fight. A big alliance with Bertie, Hero, Kevin, Salty, Spencer, Stanley, Victor, and Whiff form. Diesel is targeting Victor. Diesel does not like Victor. Charlie is targeting Bertie. Charlie extremely despises Bertie. Kevin is targeting Diesel. Kevin extremely despises Diesel. Bertie is targeting Charlie. Bertie extremely despises Charlie. Welcome back, y'all. I have 9 marshmallows. If I hand you a marshmallow, you are safe. The engines receiving a marshmallow are Stanley, Hero, Whiff, Charlie, Salty, Kevin, Spencer, Bertie. 1 marshmallow left. Second person voted out of Thomas and Friends Brant Steele, Season 1. The last marshmallow goes to Victor. Diesel is eliminated. He must walk the dock of shame and board the boat of losers. Bertie voted for Diesel. Charlie voted for Bertie. Diesel voted for Victor. Hero voted for Diesel. Kevin voted for Diesel. Salty voted for Diesel. Spencer voted for Diesel. Stanley voted for Diesel. Victor voted for Diesel. Whiff voted for Diesel. Okay. Got the alliances. James feels strong dislike towards Rosie. Rosie and Edward feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Toby and Emily feel a mutual small bond towards one another. Henry and Gordon feel a mutual small bond towards one another. Rosie and Nia feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Toby and Rebecca feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Rosie and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Percy and James feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Rebecca and Gordon feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Thomas and Edward feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. No, they don't. Okay, alliances on Lovely Locomotives. Charlie and Bertie feel mutual extreme hatreds towards one another. Salty and Charlie feel mutual extreme hate toward one another. Salty and Hero feel... Oh wait, let me try this. Will this work? Probably not.
Salty and Hero feel a mutual small bond toward one another.
Well, that's gonna echo. Hero feels mutual dislike toward Bertie. Well, let me try it. So I think it'll be nice. Let's see.
Hero feels medium dislike toward Bertie. Bertie feels medium dislike toward Hero. Victor and Spencer feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Spencer and Charlie feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Stanley and Hero feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Stanley and Salty feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Stanley feels medium dislike toward Charlie. Dodge Brawl. In a classic schoolyard game, teams compete in a game of dodgeball. If a camper is hit, they are out. But if they catch the ball, the thrower is out and the catcher gets to bring a team member onto the court. Campers can hold one ball to deflect another. But if their ball is knocked out of their hands, they're out. Each round, 5 campers from each team will compete, but anyone can be called onto the court when a ball is caught. In each round, the last team to have at least 1 camper left will win the round. The first team to win 3 rounds wins invincibility. Five campers are selected from terrific trains.
Edward, Gordon, James, and Rosie and Toby, they compete for terrific trains. Bertie, Charlie, Salty, Stanley, and Victor compete for lovely locomotives. They win the round. Game 2. Edward, Emily, Henry, Percy, and Rosie compete for terrific trains. Charlie, Hero, Kevin, Stanley, and Victor compete for lovely locomotives. Lovely locomotives wins the round. Game 3. Henry, Rebecca, Rosie, Thomas, and Toby compete for terrific trains. Bertie, Charlie, Kevin, Salty, and Stanley compete for lovely locomotives. The lovely locomotives win invincibility. Gordon and Nia bond slightly. Emily and Henry bond slightly. Thomas is targeting Nia. Thomas considers Nia a little weak. James is targeting Rosie. James extremely despises Rosie. Rosie is targeting Henry. Rosie considers Henry somewhat weak. Toby is targeting Rebecca. Toby strongly dislikes Rebecca. Nia is targeting Toby. Nia considers Toby somewhat weak. Bertie and Whip bond slightly. Bertie and Charlie bond slightly. Bertie and Kevin bond strongly. Stanley leaves the alliance. Welcome, terrific trains, to your very first elimination ceremony. I have 10 marshmallows. If I hand you a marshmallow, you are safe. But if you don't get one, you must leave and and go on the dock of shame. The marshmallows go to Thomas, Rebecca, Percy, Gordon, James, Edward, Nia, Emily, Henry. 1 marshmallow left, and it goes to Toby. Rosie is... Yup, I knew Rosie was going to be eliminated. I was right. It was quite obvious. Wow. First members of each team, a female. That sucks. My favorite's already out. Already terrible. Why is it always like that? No matter what the Brant Steele is, my favorites are always out. It is not fair. So, Nia voted for Toby, Rebecca voted for Toby, and Rosie herself. Everyone else voted Rosie. I knew this was going to happen, because she was not in an alliance. Okay, so here's some advice. If somebody is not in an alliance at all, and there's other alliances, you know they're going to be targeted. It's too obvious. It's not fair. No matter what the Brant Steele is, almost every time a favorite of mine goes out first. Can't always be like that, you know. Can't always be bad luck. Most of the time, my favorites end up winning, which is great. At least Emily's still in it. She's another favorite of mine, so she better not be next. Alliances. Alright, here we go. I have trouble reading these, so...
Toby and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Henry and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Toby and Rebecca feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Toby and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Thomas feels a small bond toward Emily. Rebecca and Gordon feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Thomas and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Thomas and James feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Nia and Gordon feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Toby and Gordon feel a mutual small bond toward one another.
Alliances on the lovely locomotives.
Salty and Charlie feel mutual extreme hatred toward one another. Charlie feels strong dislike toward Birdie. Birdie feels strong dislike toward Charlie. Salty and Hero feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Kevin and Birdie feel a mutual medium bond toward one another.
Come on.
Hero and Birdie feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. And Salty feel mutual medium dislike toward one another.
Whoops, forgot Stanley.
Spencer and Salty feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Stanley and Hero feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Victor and Spencer feel a mutual small bond toward one another.
The talent show. Teams are given 8 hours to select 3 campers with the best acts on their team to represent them in an upcoming talent contest. The team with the best overall rating, as decided by the Earl, Mr. Percival, will win invincibility. Terrific Train select Edward, James, and Thomas. Lovely Locomotive select Hero, Stanley, and Victor. Mr. Percival gives the win to Hero, Stanley, and Victor. Lovely Locomotives wins invincibility. Henry and Nia have a minor disagreement. Toby is targeting Rebecca. Toby strongly dislikes Rebecca. Emily is targeting Nia. Emily does not like Nia. Rebecca is targeting Toby. Rebecca strongly dislikes Toby. Kevin and Spencer bond strongly. Welcome back, Terrific Trains. I have 9 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Thomas, Percy, James, Henry, Emily, Gordon, Edward, Toby, and the final marshmallow goes to... You are serious right now. Another female is out. Are they really going to get rid of all the females first? That's crazy. That is messed up. Anyways, it goes to Nia. That means Rebecca is eliminated. Edward voted for Rebecca. Emily voted for Nia. Gordon voted for Rebecca. Nobody likes the females. That's just bad. Emily and Nia are the only females left. If this Brant Steele ends up being weird, I may redo it.
Toby and Gordon feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Thomas and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Thomas feels medium dislike toward James. Toby
I'm
and Emily
redoing this
feel a
if
mutual medium
Rebecca,
bond
or
toward
I'm
one
redoing
another.
this if Emily and Nia are the next two
James
booths.
feels medium dislike toward
Not
Thomas.
kidding.
Henry and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Nia and Gordon feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Toby and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Thomas and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Henry and Gordon feel a mutual small bond toward one another. Salty and Charlie feel mutual extreme hatred toward one another. Kevin and Birdie feel a mutual unbreakable relationship toward one another. Charlie and Birdie feel mutual strong dislike toward one another. Stanley feels strong dislike toward Charlie. Charlie feels medium dislike toward Stanley. Hero and Birdie feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Salty and Hero feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Stanley and Hero feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Victor and Spencer feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Spencer and Salty feel mutual medium dislike toward one another.
Camp out. Engines must spend the night in a forest. All their essential needs are at separate camps, which they must find using a map and compass. In the morning, the first team back for breakfast wins invincibility and junk food. Terrific trains make it back to camp first. They win invincibility. Gordon has a major meltdown. Emily is impressing the rest of the team. Thomas and Toby find something in common. Thomas leaves the Alliance. Wow. He's the leader, though. That's crazy. Charlie and Salty have a minor disagreement. Hero and Whiff find something in common. Spencer leaves the Alliance. Hero is targeting Stanley. Hero strongly dislikes Stanley. Charlie is targeting Birdie. Charlie extremely despises Birdie. Stanley is targeting Whiff. Stanley does not like Whiff. Salty is targeting Charlie. Salty extremely despises Charlie. Whiff is targeting Spencer. Whiff considers Spencer somewhat weak. Welcome back, lovely locomotives. If I hand you a marshmallow, you are safe. The engines receiving a marshmallow are Whiff, Salty, Spencer, Victor, Stanley, Kevin, Hero, and the final marshmallow goes to Birdie. Charlie must walk the dock of shame and board the boat of losers. Charlie is eliminated. Birdie voted for Charlie. Charlie voted for Birdie. Hero voted for Birdie. Kevin voted for Charlie. Salty voted for Charlie. Spencer voted for Charlie. Stanley voted for Charlie. Victor voted for Charlie. Whiff voted for Charlie. See ya, Charlie.
Percy feels an unbreakable relationship toward Emily. Thomas and Emily feel a mutual strong bond toward one another. Thomas feels medium dislike toward Henry. Norton feels a medium bond toward Toby. Toby and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Toby and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Thomas and James feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. James and Gordon feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Henry and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Nia and James feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Kevin and Birdie feel a mutual unbreakable relationship toward one another. Spencer and Kevin feel a mutual strong bond toward one another. Stanley and Hero feel mutual strong dislike toward one another. Hero feels strong dislike toward Birdie. Stanley and Salty feel mutual strong dislike toward one another. Salty and Hero feel a mutual strong bond toward one another. Spencer and Salty feel mutual strong dislike toward one another. Birdie feels strong dislike toward Hero. Victor and Spencer feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Salty and Kevin feel a mutual medium bond toward one another.
Phobia factor. Campers must face their worst fears. Each engine who can successfully overcome their fear earns a point for their team. The team with the most points wins invincibility. Since terrific trains have 9 members to 8, one camper on lovely locomotives will compete twice. The challenge will begin. Toby fails to overcome his fear. Victor overcomes his fear and scores a point for lovely locomotives. James fails to overcome his fear. Salty fails to overcome his fear. Henry fails to overcome his fear. Birdie overcomes his fear and scores a point for lovely locomotives. Thomas fails to overcome his fear. Hero fails to overcome his fear. Edward fails to overcome his fear. Stanley fails to overcome his fear. Gordon fails to overcome his fear. Spencer fails to overcome his fear. Nia fails to overcome her fear. Kevin fails to overcome his fear. Percy fails to overcome his fear. Whiff overcomes his fear and scores a point for lovely locomotives. Lovely locomotives lead 3-0. They win invincibility. I swear if it's one of the girls next. Henry and Nia have a small fight. The alliance between Henry and Nia dissolves. Oh, come on! If she's out, I swear to God. Ooh, an alliance with Thomas and Percy form. Awesome, they're best friends. James is targeting Thomas. James strongly dislikes Thomas. No, he doesn't! You say that, and I see Thomas and James right now next to each other with Toby shunting cars. That is just bad timing. Oh my god. Percy is targeting Nia. Percy has a slightly negative opinion about Nia. Nia's targeting Henry. Nia strongly dislikes Henry. Thomas is targeting James. Thomas strongly dislikes James. No, he doesn't. Kevin has a major meltdown. Stanley and Whiff bond strongly. Victor leaves the alliance. A new alliance with Stanley and Victor form. Welcome back, Terrific Trains. If I hand you a marshmallow, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Percy, Toby, Henry, Nia, Emily. Yes, both girls are safe. Edward, Gordon, and the final marshmallow goes to James. Thomas is eliminated? Oh no! Oh no! The main character is eliminated. No freaking way! Oh no! That's crazy. Wow. Percy betrayed the alliance they had because he voted for him. The only people to not vote Thomas are Nia, Thomas himself, and Toby. The main engine is eliminated. That's crazy.
Percy feels an unbreakable relationship toward Emily. Henry and Emily feel a mutual strong bond toward one another. Norton feels a strong bond toward Toby. Toby and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. James and Gordon feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Nia and James feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Emily and Edward feel mutual medium dislike toward one another. Toby and Emily feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Percy and James feel a mutual medium bond toward one another. Nia and Henry feel mutual medium dislike toward one another.
I'm not going to read these. They take too long. Canoe trip. Teams must paddle out to Boney Island using designated canoes. Once there, teams must portage their canoes across the center of the island to the other side. Once on the other side, teams must build a rescue fire, which will be judged. Then teams will canoe back home. The first team to bring their canoes back to the start will win invincibility. Lovely locomotives reach Boney Island. Lovely locomotives reach the other side of Boney Island. Terrific trains reach Boney Island. Lovely locomotives successfully build a rescue fire. Terrific trains reach the other side of Boney Island. Lovely locomotives make it back to the starting line. Lovely locomotives wins invincibility. Nia and Toby bond strongly. Nia is targeting Henry. Nia strongly dislikes Henry. James is targeting Toby. James does not like Toby and considers him somewhat weak. Henry is targeting Nia. Henry strongly dislikes Nia. Kevin and Victor bond slightly. A new alliance with Spencer and Whiff form. Welcome back, y'all. I have 7 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Toby, Percy, James, Gordon, Edward, Emily, and the final marshmallow goes to Henry. Nia is eliminated. Emily is the only girl left. And if she's out, then I don't know what to do. Emily is the only girl left Emily is now the only girl left. This is just not good. I might have to redo this whole thing. Alliances, relationships. Relationships. Paintball deer hunt. Campers from each team are divided into two roles, hunters and deer. Hunters must shoot deer of the opposite team, while deer must evade opposing hunters. If a deer is shot by any hunter, they are eliminated. The last team with deer still alive wins invincibility. Terrific trains have 3 hunters. They are Emily, Henry, and James. Terrific trains have 4 deer, Edward, Gordon, Percy, and Toby. Lovely locomotives have 4 hunters, Kevin, Salty, Spencer, Whiff. Lovely locomotives have 4 deer, Birdie, Hero, Stanley, Victor. Emily shoots Hero. Kevin shoots Gordon. Henry shoots Stanley. Salty shoots Edward. James shoots Victor. Emily shoots Birdie. 2 deer remain for Terrific Trains, Toby and Percy. Terrific Trains wins invincibility. Henry and Percy find something in common. Edward and Henry have a small fight. Birdie has a major meltdown. Victor is impressing the rest of the team. Stanley leaves the alliance. Kevin is targeting Victor. Kevin does not like Victor. Why? You work with him at the Steamworks. Stanley is targeting Kevin. Stanley strongly dislikes Kevin. Salty is targeting Spencer. Salty extremely despises Spencer. Spencer is targeting Salty. Spencer extremely despises Salty. Whiff is targeting Birdie. Whiff considers Birdie somewhat weak. Welcome back, lovely locomotives. I have 7 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Whiff, Birdie, Kevin, Victor, Hero, Stanley. And the final marshmallow goes to Salty. Spencer is eliminated. The only people not to vote for Spencer are himself, Victor, and Whiff. Now the teams are even. Alliances, relationships. Alliances, relationships. Hell's Kitchen. Teams must create a 3-course meal to be judged by Sir Topham Hatt. Each team must also appoint a head chef who will create the theme of the meal and oversee their progress. The team with the best meal wins invincibility and a 5-star dinner under the stars. Terrific Trains appoint Gordon as the head chef. Lovely Locomotives appoint Salty as the head chef. Lovely Locomotives wins invincibility. If Emily is out, I swear to God. Gordon and James bond slightly. Edward and James bond strongly. Toby leaves the alliance. Toby is targeting James. Toby strongly dislikes James. Henry is targeting Toby. Henry extremely despises Toby. Salty is impressing the rest of the team. Hero is impressing the rest of the team. Salty and Victor have a minor disagreement. Whiff leaves the alliance. A new alliance with Hero, Kevin, and Whiff form. Welcome. I have 6 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Percy, Gordon, Emily, Edward, Henry. 1 marshmallow left, and it goes to James. Toby is eliminated. Everyone voted for Toby except himself. Alliances, relationships. Alliances, relationships. Okay, this one's a lot of reading. There are 3 main challenges centered around trust. Each challenge must be completed by 2 members from each team. Instead of campers choosing their partners, they are divided by Sir Topham Hatt. For the first challenge, 2 campers from each team must compete in extreme freehand rock climbing challenge where they must decide who will climb the mountain and who will harness the climber and hold their slack. On the base and side of the mountain are rusty nails, slippery oil slicks, mild explosives, and a water gun filled with habanero pepper sauce. The first camper to reach the top wins the challenge for their team. For the second challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in an extreme cooking challenge where they must decide who will cook and who will eat. The cooks must prepare fuju sashimi, a dish which can be lethal poisonous if it is not prepared properly, while the other 2 must taste their partner's dish. The camper that is poisoned the least wins the challenge for their team. The final challenge is broken down into 3 blind challenges. In the first blind challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in the blind William Tell, where they must decide who will stand and who will toss. The campers who stand will have an arrow placed on top of their head as their partner tries to knock the arrow off with an apple while blindfolded. The first camper to knock the arrow off their partner's head wins the challenge for their team. In the second blind challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in the blind trapeze, where they must decide who will jump and who will swing. The jumpers must wait on a platform until their partner tells them to jump, at which point the swingers must catch their partner. The catcher who successfully catches their partner the fastest wins the challenge for their team. In the final blind challenge, 2 campers from each team compete in the blind toboggan race, where they must decide who will drive and who will navigate. The driver is blindfolded as they steer the toboggan, while the navigator shouts directions. Starting on top of a mountain riddled with mild explosives, the first pair to reach the base of the mountain wins the challenge for their team. The team that wins the most blind challenges wins the third challenge. The team that wins the most challenges wins invincibility. Emily and Gordon compete for terrific trains. Bertie and Salty compete for lovely locomotives. Emily and Gordon score the point for terrific trains. Edward and Percy compete for terrific trains. Kevin and Victor compete for lovely locomotives. Edward and Percy score the point for the terrific teams. Terrific trains clinch the win with 2 points. Terrific trains wins invincibility. Edward and Percy have a major fight. Whiff is impressing the rest of the team. Bertie is impressing the rest of the team. Whiff is targeting Salty. Whiff strongly dislikes Salty. Salty is targeting Stanley. Salty strongly dislikes Stanley. Victor is targeting Kevin. Victor extremely despises Kevin. Stanley is targeting Victor. Stanley strongly dislikes Victor. Welcome back, everyone. I have 6 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Whiff, Hero, Salty, Bertie, Stanley. And the final marshmallow goes to Kevin. Victor is eliminated. Hero voted for Stanley. Salty voted for Stanley. Victor voted for Kevin. And Whiff voted for Kevin. Teams are even. Final 12. Alliances, relationships. Alliances, relationships. Master Chief's boot camp. Teams are forced into a boat camp ran by Mr. Percival, who has asked to be addressed as Master Chief for the occasion. Engines must follow every role and command given by Master Chief, whose goal is to make sure everyone drops out of his boot camp. If a camper wants to drop out of the boot camp, they must walk the dock of shame and ring the bell. The camper who remains in Master Chief's boot camp the longest wins invincibility for their team. Edward from Terrific Trains drops out. Stanley drops out. James drops out. Henry drops out. Hero drops out. Salty drops out. Bertie drops out. Gordon drops out. Emily drops out. Percy drops out. Whiff and Kevin remain. Lovely Locomotives wins invincibility. James and Percy find something in common. Edward leaves the Alliance. Percy is targeting Edward. Percy extremely despises Edward. Edward is targeting Percy. Edward extremely despises Percy. Hero and Stanley bond strongly. Whiff leaves the Alliance. Welcome, everyone. I have 5 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Emily, Henry, James, Gordon. 1 marshmallow left, and it goes to Percy. Edward is eliminated. Everyone voted for Edward except himself. Alliances, relationships. Alliances, relationships. All right, more. We got a lot more reading here. Teams compete in 3 extreme sports challenges. For the first challenge, extreme sofa bed skydiving, 1 camper from each team, as decided by production, will jump from a plane 5,000 feet above the ground in an attempt to land on their sofa bed. As the 2 campers fall, their teams can move their respective sofa beds in order to help with the landing. The first camper to land on their sofa bed wins the challenge for their team. For the second challenge, extreme rodeo moose riding, 1 camper from each team, as decided by production, must rodeo ride a moose for 8 seconds. If either camper falls off the moose, they will land in a pile of dirty socks from the lost and found. The camper that stays on the moose the longest wins the challenge for their team. For the final challenge, extreme sea-doo water ski, 2 campers from each team, as decided by production, are given a role: the driver and the water skier. 1 at a time, drivers must race through a course while the water skier from the opposite team is attached to the driver's sea-doo. The water skier's goal is to collect as many opposing teams' flags as they can before the driver crosses the finish line, while the driver's goal is to prevent the water skier from collecting flags. The water skier who collects the most flags wins the challenge for their team. The team that wins the most challenges wins invincibility and a tricked-out multi-massage mobile shower. Okay. Henry competes for terrific trains. Kevin competes for lovely locomotives. Lovely locomotives scores a point. Emily competes for terrific trains. Salty competes for lovely locomotives. Lovely locomotives wins invincibility. Gordon and James bond strongly. Percy leaves the alliance. Henry's targeting Percy. Henry strongly dislikes Percy. Percy's targeting Gordon. Percy extremely despises Gordon. Hero and Stanley have a small fight. Hero and Kevin have a small fight. Welcome back, y'all. I have 4 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The campers receiving the engines receiving marshmallows are Henry, Emily, James, and the final marshmallow goes to Gordon. Percy is eliminated. All of them voted Percy except himself. All campers have made the jury, and teams will become 1 next episode. Cabins have also been assigned randomly. They will compete in a food-related reward challenge. So Team 1 is Birdie, Hero, James, Salty, and Stanley. Team 2 is Emily, Gordon, Henry, Kevin, and Whiff. Okay, alliances, relationships. We have this alliance and relationships. The brunch of disgustingness. Throughout 9 rounds, campers will be given a 9-course meal of gross foods. Each dish could be better, worse, or just as gross than the previous, but all dishes are guaranteed to be gross. The first team to finish a dish wins that round. The team that wins the most rounds will spend 2 days at a local 5-star resort, where they'll be pampered, eat gourmet gnocchi, and be given antibiotics against anything they may have caught while participating in this challenge. Okay, Hero fails to finish. Team 2 scores. Emily, Henry, and Kevin fail to finish. Team 1 scores. Henry fails to finish. Team 1 scores. Henry fails to finish again. Team 1 scores. 4 members fail to finish. Team 2 scores. James and Salty fail to finish. Team 3 scores. Okay, Team 1 scores. 4 people fail to finish. Team 1 wins reward. Birdie and James have a major fight. Hero leaves the alliance. Whiff has a major meltdown. Now they have all reached merge. Congratulations, Birdie, Emily, Gordon, Henry, Hero, James, Kevin, Salty, Stanley, and Whiff are all making merge. Campers are informed that all teams are officially dissolved and that it's every camper for themselves. Backed by popular audience demand, it's Mavis! Actually, production. Also returning, it's Charlie. Mavis and Charlie are back in the game. Wow, Mavis was the first boot, and she's back in the game. That means the true first boot, I think, is Diesel. We'll have to see, though. Welcome back, Mavis! We needed another girl back. This is perfect. Okay, alliances, relationships. No pain, no gain. In random order, campers will have to spin the wheel of misfortune to determine the torture they must endure. If a camper backs down on a torture or is unable to last 10 seconds, they are eliminated. If a camper passes their torture, they move to the next round. If a camper can pass their torture without complaining, they can choose the next camper and the torture. But if their victim succeeds, they are eliminated. When only 2 remain, if the next camper passes their torture, they win the challenge. Otherwise, the other camper wins. The camper who lasts the longest wins invincibility and a luxurious trailer to take home at the end of the summer. Kevin gets the torture. He must wear wooden shorts while a woodpecker pecks away at them. Emily must survive in a game of log roll against Molotov the bear, a performer with the Russian National Circus who has been the European log running champion for the past 12 years. She passes. Emily chooses Stanley to do goose shoes. Stanley must wear shoes filled with... Well, he's a train. He can't. He completes his torture and eliminates Emily. Bertie gets the next torture. He must be wrapped tight by a snake. He passes. Mavis gets the next torture. She must stick her head inside the kitchen garbage. She passes. James gets the next torture. He must endure 1 minute of constant tickling. He fails and is eliminated. Hero gets the next torture. He must attempt to milk an angry bull. He fails and is eliminated. Salty gets the next torture. He must listen to New Age music. He passes and moves on. Whiff gets the next torture. He must sit in the pouch of a kangaroo. He fails and is eliminated. No crap. Henry gets the next torture. He must stand in front of a goal while Mr. Percival slapshots angry snapping turtles at him. He fails and is eliminated. Charlie gets the next torture. He must have all of his nose hairs pulled at once. He fails and is eliminated. Gordon gets the next torture. He must eat a large tub of ice cream. He fails and is eliminated. Stanley gets the next torture. He must listen to his own voice. He passes and moves on. Kevin gets the next torture. He must have his head wrapped in poison ivy. He passes and moves on. Bertie gets the next torture. He must have his face waxed using melted marshmallows. He passes and moves on. Mavis must get a haircut with a chainsaw. She doesn't have hair, though. She passes and moves on. Salty gets the next torture. He must jump over and onto a series of skunks and rocks. He fails and is eliminated. Stanley gets the next torture. He must sit in a barrel full of water and lake leeches. He fails and is eliminated. Kevin gets the next torture. He must get inside a wooden crate with Sasquatch and Aqua. He passes and moves on. Bertie gets the next torture. He must take water balloons to the face. He passes and moves on. Mavis gets the next torture. She must be defibrillated with 2 electric eels. She fails to complete her torture and is eliminated. Kevin and Bertie are the final 2 left. Kevin gets the final torture. He must lay down on a bed of spikes. He passes. Kevin wins invincibility. Okay, Hero is impressing the rest of the team. Whiff has a major meltdown. Henry and James bond slightly. Charlie is targeting Salty. Charlie extremely despises Salty. Salty is targeting Charlie. He extremely despises Charlie. Salty, he just came back. Don't pull an Eva on him. Hero is targeting Bertie. Hero extremely despises Bertie. Kevin is targeting Whiff. Kevin extremely despises Whiff. Mavis is targeting Stanley. Mavis considers Stanley somewhat threatening. Bertie is targeting Hero. Bertie has a slightly negative opinion about Hero and considers him a small threat. Okay, so first up, we ran out of marshmallows. I reviewed the votes, and I have to say, there's a lot of hate on in this group, which is awesome. While I normally protect your privacy, in the spirit of airing your dirty laundry, I'm going to go live with your confessionals. Bertie voted for Whiff. Charlie voted for Salty. Emily voted for Salty. Gordon voted for Whiff. Henry voted for Whiff. Hero voted for Bertie. James voted for Salty. Kevin voted for Whiff. Mavis voted for Salty. Salty voted for Whiff. Stanley voted for Salty. Whiff voted for Salty. Salty is eliminated. Alliances. Relationships. Lucky Key Hunt. Engines must search certain areas on the island for keys that will unlock different treasure chests, which contain different rewards and punishments, including invincibility. Before the challenge begins, engines each pull their own plank out of a bucket. Each plank depicts the location of a key. The engines have until 6 p.m. to get their keys. While the time has run out, engines can open their treasure chests, but some keys do not match any of the treasure chests. Bertie could never find a key and wins nothing. Charlie found a dud key and wins nothing. Gordon could never find a key and wins nothing. Whiff wins chips and a can of pop. Henry wins cologne. Emily wins 2 ships and a bottle. Stanley wins a gift basket, which also contains invincibility. Kevin wins a leg lamp. That's just so funny to me. I don't know why. He doesn't even have legs. James could never find a key and wins nothing. Hero wins an accordion. Mavis found a dud key and wins nothing. Stanley wins invincibility. Good job, Stanley. Mavis and Stanley have a minor disagreement. Bertie is targeting Hero. Bertie extremely despises Hero. Whiff is targeting Kevin. Whiff extremely despises Kevin. Kevin is targeting Whiff. Kevin extremely despises Whiff. Charlie is targeting Bertie. Charlie extremely despises Bertie. Welcome back, y'all. I have 10 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Stanley, James, Whiff, Hero, Henry, Mavis, Emily, Charlie, Gordon, and the final marshmallow goes to Kevin. Bertie is eliminated. Everyone voted for Bertie except himself, Mavis, and Stanley, and Whiff. Final 10. Alliances, relationships. Hide, seek, and run. The engines have 10 minutes to hide anywhere on the island. When the 10 minutes are over, Mr. Percival will start searching. If an engine is caught, they can try to escape to home base. But if Mr. Percival hits them with his water gun, the engine is eliminated and must help search for engines. Engines can win invincibility by being the last engine still hiding, getting to home base after Mr. Percival finds them, or tagging any of the remaining hiding engines after being eliminated. Henry is found by Mr. Percival. Kevin is found by Mr. Percival. James is found. Mavis is found. James is shot by his water gun. James tags Gordon and wins invincibility. Gordon must tag someone now. Stanley is found. Kevin is shot by the water gun. Kevin tags Emily and wins invincibility. Emily must tag someone now. Charlie is found. Charlie's found. Charlie is shot by the water gun. Henry is shot by the water gun. Mavis makes it to home base without getting shot and wins invincibility. Hero is found. Hero makes it to home base and gets invincibility. Stanley is shot. Whiff is the last camper and wins invincibility. The challenge ends. Hero, James, Kevin, Mavis, and Whiff all win invincibility. Charlie and Kevin have a major fight. Henry and Stanley have a small fight. Hero leaves the alliance. A new alliance with Gordon, Hero, Mavis, Stanley, and Whiff form. Hero's targeting Charlie. Hero considers Charlie somewhat threatening. Kevin is targeting Stanley. Kevin considers Stanley somewhat threatening. Alright. I have 9 marshmallows. If you don't receive one, you are out. The engines receiving a marshmallow are Kevin, Mavis, Whiff, James, Hero, Emily, Henry, Gordon, and the final marshmallow goes to Stanley. Charlie is eliminated. He got the Blanley treatment. Rip. The only people not to vote for Charlie are himself, Henry, James, and Kevin. Well, one down, one to go. Mavis remains. Alliances, relationships. Pretty cruel bike race. Campers must build their own bicycles, then trick them out using arts and craft supplies. Engines are informed that they will be riding the bikes. How can they ride? They can race themselves. In a surprise turn of events, it is revealed that engines will draw names out of a hat, which will determine whose bike they'll race on. In Part 1 of the race, anyone whose bike crosses the finish line will proceed to the next round. In Part 2 of the race, engines will ride their own bike if it survived Part 1. This part of the race includes landmines, an oil slick, and a hazardous pool of piranhas. In another cruel twist, engines are told that while the first racing engine who crosses the finish line wins invincibility, the last racing engine will be automatically eliminated. If a racing engine's bike is destroyed during this part of the race, they are technically not included and therefore cannot be eliminated. Whiff selects the bike made by Kevin. James selects the bike made by Stanley. Henry selects Mavis's bike. Emily selects Gordon's bike. Hero selects Whiff's bike. Gordon selects Henry's bike. Kevin selects Emily's bike. Stanley selects Hero's bike. Mavis selects James's bike. Part 1 begins. Kevin crosses the finish line in the bike made by Emily. Mavis crosses the finish line in James's bike. Hero crosses the finish line in Whiff's bike. Whiff crosses the finish line in Kevin's bike. Henry crosses the finish line in Mavis's bike. Stanley crosses the finish line in Hero's bike. James crosses the finish line in Stanley's bike. Gordon crosses the finish line in Henry's bike. Emily fails to finish in the bike made by Gordon. 8 compete in the Emily, James, Whiff, Kevin, Mavis, Hero, Stanley, and Henry. They all compete in the second part. Part 2 begins. Emily finishes first. Stanley finishes second. Hero finishes third. Henry finishes fourth. Whiff finishes fifth. Mavis finishes sixth. Kevin and James fail to complete the second part and are safe as a result. Emily wins invincibility. Mavis must walk. Wow, that's insane. Mavis must walk the dock of shame and board the boat of losers. Both returnees already gone. Wow, that was a waste of time. Emily is still the only girl now. She's pushing through. I hope she makes it as a finalist. Gordon and Whiff find something in common. Henry has a major meltdown. Hero and Stanley have a small fight. A new alliance with Emily and Whiff form. They had an episode together, believe it or not. Hey, I see Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hat was dressed as Santa Claus. Oh my god. That's so funny. Now Thomas and Scruff is on. And I see James and Emily. Okay. Alliance. Relationship. Okay, that's enough. Hook, line, and screamer. After watching a horror movie, engines are led to believe they have been abandoned on the island due to an escaped psycho killer with a chainsaw and a hook being on the loose. The last engine still alive wins invincibility, while the engine who does the worst job at surviving will be eliminated at the campfire ceremony. The first camper killed is Emily. Second is Kevin. Then James. Then Whiff. Then Stanley. Then Gordon. Then Hero. Henry is the last camper alive, winning invincibility. Okay. Henry and Hero bond slightly. Alright. Hero does the worst at surviving. Hero is eliminated. Alright. Final 7. Alliances. Relationships. The Wild Hunt. Engines have 8 hours to trap an animal and bring it back to the campfire unharmed. Before the challenge begins, campers must take turns pulling slips of paper out of a hat to decide what animal they will be hunting. When the challenge starts, engines will have 1 minute to collect as much equipment as they want. The first engine to bring their animal back wins a feast of all their favorite foods, while the loser must clean the communal washrooms. Emily selects raccoon. Whiff selects beaver. Henry selects chipmunk. James selects bear. Stanley selects deer. Kevin selects duck. Gordon selects frog. The challenge begins. Whiff brings the beaver first and wins a feast. James brings back the bear. Stanley brings back the deer. Kevin brings back the duck. Emily brings back the raccoon. Henry brings back the chipmunk. Gordon brings back the frog last and must clean the communal washrooms. Okay. Emily is impressing the rest of the team. Emily and Stanley find something in common. Gordon and James bond strongly. Gordon leaves the alliance. Kevin is targeting Stanley. Kevin considers Stanley somewhat threatening. Gordon is targeting Whiff. Gordon strongly dislikes Whiff. Whiff is targeting Kevin. Whiff extremely despises Kevin. Welcome, y'all. I have 6 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are James, Henry, Gordon, Emily, Whiff, and the final marshmallow goes to Stanley. Kevin is eliminated. The only people not to vote Kevin are Gordon, James, and Kevin himself. Final 6. Alliances, relationships. Another long one. Campers compete in 3 challenges while handcuffed to a partner. Before each challenge, pairs will be offered to take a wimp key. If a pair takes the key, they will be freed from their partner, but will also be eliminated from the challenge. For the first challenge, competitive chowdown, pairs must choose a feeder and an eater. While the eater must have their hands behind them at all times, the feeder must feed their partner. The first feeder to complete their platter of food wins the challenge for the pair. For the second challenge, pairs must canoe out to Boney Island and open a package that is waiting for them. In the package is a portion of cursed idol which must be returned to the cave of treacherous terror, but campers will have to piggyback their partner there. The first pair to return their idol wins the challenge. For the final challenge, the totem pole of shame and humiliation, pairs must assemble a totem pole starting from the first engine voted out to the most recent, using wooden heads of those eliminated before them. The first pair to correctly assemble the totem pole wins the challenge. The pair that wins the most challenges wins invincibility. If all 3 pairs win a challenge, no one wins invincibility. The first pair are Emily and Stanley. Second pair are Henry and Whiff. Third pair is Gordon and James. Challenge begins. Emily and Stanley win challenge 1. Emily and Stanley win challenge 2. By winning the first 2 parts, they have clinched the challenge. Emily and Stanley win invincibility. Congrats. Gordon and James find something in common. Stanley leaves the alliance. Henry is targeting Whiff. Henry extremely despises Whiff. Whiff is targeting Gordon. Whiff considers Gordon somewhat threatening. I have 5 marshmallows. If I hand you one, you are safe. The engines receiving marshmallows are Stanley, Emily, Henry, James, and the final marshmallow goes to Gordon. Whiff is eliminated. The only everyone voted for Whiff except himself. Final 5. 4 people from this are 4 engines are Steam Team members. Oh my goodness. It's 4 of the Steam Teams and Stanley left. Emily made it to Final 5. Ooh, the losers. Welcome back, y'all. The losers reveal their opinions on the remaining campers. There is no jury. All 17 losers will vote out one of the final 5 campers, or engines. Birdie voted for Emily. Uh-oh, she might be done. Charlie voted for Stanley. Diesel voted for Stanley. Edward voted for Emily. Hero voted for Stanley. Kevin voted for Stanley. Mavis voted for Stanley. Nia voted for Stanley. Percy voted for Stanley. Rebecca voted for Stanley. Rosie voted for Stanley. Salty voted for Stanley. Spencer voted for Stanley. Thomas voted for Stanley. Toby voted for Stanley. Victor voted for Stanley. Whiff voted for Emily. Yup, I was right. Stanley is eliminated. Now the final 4 are just all Steam Team members. The final 4, they were all on the same team. What are the freaking odds? Everybody that was on the lovely locomotives are now eliminated. All of them are now eliminated. Final 4. Who will win it all? Alliances, relationships. Finding your way. After waking up in the middle of a forest, engines are informed by Mr. Percival that in pairs they must navigate their way north back to camp. Before they begin, each pair is given a bag containing everything they'll need, except food. The first pair to find their way back to camp and touch the totem pole wins invincibility. The first pair consists of Emily and Henry. The second pair consists of Gordon and James. Gordon and James wins invincibility, which means Emily or Henry is eliminated. Oh boy. It's either Emily or Henry eliminated. Emily and Henry find something in common, and they even have a small fight. The alliance between... I think Emily's going to be eliminated. It looks like it. Because her and James's alliance just dissolved. That kind of gives it away. A new alliance with Emily. Okay, they dissolve and then they form a new one with Gordon. That doesn't make sense. It could be anyone, though. I have 3 marshmallows. Gordon, we know that Gordon and James are getting theirs. So between Emily and Henry, the final marshmallow goes to... Oh, no, it's up to Chef. Okay, or it's up to Mr. Percival. So between Emily and Henry, the final... Let's see who he eliminates. It's Henry. Emily in the final 3. She's getting close. Is she gonna make it? Let's we don't know. Emily, Gordon, and James. Oh my God. I cannot believe she made it this far. Congrats, Emily. You're almost there. You got this. I triple dog dare you. Due to the producers running out of insane ways to torture their remaining engines, they turn to the Outis campers for engines for ideas. In this challenge, each engine will take turns spinning a bottle that is attached to a board. Whichever Outis engine's face the bottle stops on determines the dare the engine will perform. If the engine takes their dare, they win a get out of dare freebie. The engine can also inflict the dare onto another engine with the goal of eliminating them. But if the dared engine has a freebie, they can use it at any time. Engines can give each other freebies if they choose to. If an engine refuses to do a dare, they will automatically be eliminated from the challenge and the game. James gets a dare from Salty. Fight an alligator. James passes the dare to Gordon. Gordon completes the dare. Gordon gets a dare from Mavis. Eat dog food. Gordon passes the dare to James. James completes the dare. Dare 3. Emily gets a dare from Charlie. Eat a cockroach. Emily completes the dare to get out of dare freebie. James gets a dare from Whiff. Chew your own toe. James doesn't have toenails. He's an engine. Silly. James completes the dare to get an out of dare freebie. Okay. Gordon gets a dare from Rosie. Wear a baby outfit. Gordon passes the dare to James. James uses a freebie to skip the dare. Emily gets a dare from Kevin. Pretend to be a chicken while wearing a chicken hat. Emily passes the dare to Gordon. Gordon refuses the dare and is eliminated. Gordon loses. Oh my God. Emily and James are the final 2. Oh my God. It's either Emily or James winning the entire thing. We don't know which one. Emily and Gordon have a major fight. Emily and James find something in common, and then an alliance between them form. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome your finalists, Emily and James. Congratulations, you two. Woo! Between both of them, who will win it all? Come on, Emily, you got this. You're doing really good. You're kicking. You're leading it for doing this for the girls. Come on. I'm so happy a girl made it to a finalist. I was not expecting that. That was crazy. All right. They're all going... Uh-oh, Emily, you might be screwed. Because a lot more people are rooting for James than Emily. I'm sorry, girl. I don't know if you'll win this. Bertie, Edward, Hero, Kevin, Nia, Rebecca, Salty, and Victor are all rooting for Emily, while Charlie, Diesel, Gordon, Henry, Mavis, Percy, Rosie, Spencer, Stanley, Thomas, Toby, and Whiff are voting for Emily. James has a lot more supporters, so he might win because of that. Well, we don't know yet, so let's find out. If she gets second, that's at least good. Rejected Olympic relay race. The final 2 engines must compete in 3 parts, which were supposedly pitched to the Olympic Committee but rejected as an Olympic sport. One engine must wear a chicken hat, while the other must wear a cow hat. First engines must run to the first location and shimmy up a pole to retrieve a flag. Then they must walk a 300-meter balance beam suspended across a massive gorge, with man-eating freshwater sharks below, while carrying an eagle egg. Finally, once across, it is a long-distance run to the finish. Along the way, the cheering engines can help who they're rooting for. The first engine to reach the finish wins. Thomas and Friends Brant Steele Season 1 and a $100 check. Emily and James compete. Emily wears the cow hat. James wears the chicken hat. The challenge begins. Emily retrieves the flag. Emily makes it across the bridge with the eagle egg. James retrieves the flag. James makes it across the bridge with the eagle egg. James crosses the finish line. James is the winner! Woo! I'm sorry, Emily, you were so close. Emily got second. So close. Congratulations, James. James wins. Just like in season 2. Wait, wrong, James. Congratulations, James. You are the winner. You will receive a $100 check. Oh, there's more? James has to make a choice. He can take the $100,000, or he can give all 22 engines a chance to find a hidden briefcase containing $1 million. James chooses to give up the $100,000. Wow, it's like you won for nothing. But I guess they wanted to continue. I guess he wanted to try to get the 1 million instead. But he still won though. 14 engines end up colliding into the water with the briefcase. They will compete for $100,000 in season 2. Does this even work? I can rename this Brant Steele. I don't even know if this will work. So here are all the engines. Oh, Emily's not in this season this time. So here's your cast for Thomas and Friends Brant Steele Season 2. We have Birdie, Diesel, Gordon, Henry, Hero, James, Mavis, Nia, Percy, Rebecca, Rosie, Salty, Thomas, and Toby. But I think an extra person will be added because of, like, Courtney. Well, let's see if this works, because I don't know if it will. Yeah, it doesn't work. Anyways, here's the elimination order. 22nd place Diesel, 21st place Rosie, 20th place Rebecca, 19th Thomas, 18th Nia, 17th Spencer, 16th Toby, 15th Victor, 14th Edward, 13th Percy, 12th Salty, 11th Birdie, 10th Charlie, 9th Mavis, 8th Hero, 7th Kevin, 6th Whiff, 5th Stanley, 4th Henry, 3rd Gordon, 2nd Emily, winner James, 1st place. Emily and James and Kevin all tied for the most and Stanley, they all tied for the most invincibility wins, and Stanley has unfortunately received the most votes. Alright, that is game. Voting chart. Oh, this is new. Oh, this is like a voting chart. Never seen this before. It tells you who they all voted for. Okay. Alright, well that is game. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And pretty soon we'll do a season 2. We'll have some new returnees and we'll have some brand new engines competing. So I think that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll have to see how that goes. So pretty soon we're gonna try the Thomas and Friends Masked Singer that we were gonna do, but we had some difficulties. You know that it takes a lot of work getting all of the images in and putting all the names in. It's a long progress. It's a long process to do that. So good job everyone. James, congratulations. And we will do season 2 next time. We'll have to figure out how we want to do it. I'm hoping at some point they add to, oh, Edward's sad. Anyways, Sir Topham Hatt is sad. He's blushing. Edward's blushing. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. And hopefully at some point they add Total Drama Action and Total Drama World Tour on here. And the other Total Drama seasons. And they should also add Amazing Race and Redonkulous Race, because I'd love to see that too. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. Also, tomorrow I'm going to be playing Koopa's Seaside Soiree, so be ready for that. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Congratulations, James. Take care.